Hello viewers, actually a wonderful program. I am your host today. Evan, you're there, you will enjoy every bit of it. Woman Today is a program and everyone connected to her. It actually has a focus on the disability, her sexism, everything about her fears, her child. We have a lot of things to discuss about women in this program. In today's program, we have a wonderful topic that will excite you and your family. You have a lot to learn. Just stay put with us. Hang on. We'll be back in a moment. Thank you. Welcome back to the show. Wow, we have beautiful guests in the house, in this place, and the name of our guest is Mrs. Adam. Can you greet your audience?
Thank you for having me.
On a very important topic that has to do with child sexual abuse. Yes, affected by this word, sexual abuse. Female child or youth. Last week on 6th of that a girl of 12 years old was in her father's house into a program like this. But I pray it will never be anybody's portion.
Amen, amen, amen.
Yes, nobody's child will be a victim after listening to this program.
Amen.
So the woman was there listening while the man stepped out to get something on the man of men. And they raped this child almost to the point of death. You could see the lady was someone...
Undergraduate.
Yes, undergraduate. Rape, we have this pandemic, is a silent one. It's not pronounced like coronavirus. It's eating up the society. And today, we are talking about, I heard a news over the Facebook the other time that a boy of 16 years, a youth, a young lady, and married lady even gave me a little clue of what child to every layman's mind about sexual abuse. There's this mindset we normally have.
Child sexual abuse is a sexual activity, forceful sexual activity between a child and a person. Why I said a person is, it could be child to child, doesn't really mean it must be an adult. Sometimes children in the house and all that. This child sexual abuse, whenever they talk about sexual abuse, everybody says a lot of categories. Like we normally break the physical contact is where rape comes in. Rape is just one of it. Okay. All those kind of touching a child's organ like the breast, okay. The one that was trending some days back on social media. It was very, very, I think they arrested him and he said they were bonding. I didn't just get it. it's crazy. How can you just maybe a form of sexual abuse?
Okay.
Then when it comes to, sometimes there's this, an uncle trying to carry a child on the lap, or an auntie trying to carry, this thing is a two-way thing,
Okay.
In as much as this rape thing is always like they say, sexual abuse, like it's just like maybe girls. But the boys, like basically an uncle, you say, my uncle carry on the lap and all, not even thinking about anything negative. But this uncle is really enjoying himself.
Wow.
Maybe one day this child will say, what is this thing that each time this uncle carries me, he's excited. I'm even feeling some things around, boom, it has happened. Then you have, maybe there's something in the eyes, you're removing it, or it's just like breast. Then when it comes to the non-physical contact,
Okay.
the mother of the whole thing, that's what gives birth to the main thing. Like watching of pornography. Those days it wasn't even on phones. They play it on video cassette. You have to caution your children on touching people's phone anyhow. Because an innocent Google, you give them WhatsApp, they go to Facebook, they know everything. As uncle is snapping. Then now, boom, they go to pictures and I see naked women on the phone. But the child may want to know, watch, uncle, give me your phone. Uncle is there doing his thing, he's not thinking anything negative. This child is watching and watching and watching. Maybe one day the child might just come up and say, uncle, this thing that is in your phone, innocently, it's not that he or she knows anything. This thing in your phone, this it comes.
Yes.
This girl is asking me this kind of thing. It's non-physical to when maybe he's dressing up and the child comes emotionally and sexually is abusing the child, because this is not the kind of thing that's particular into why this is dangling, this is hard. Why is it like this? Why is it like that? Why is it like that? Is like that? So when it comes to child sexual abuse, is very vast.
Wow.
It's like
Yes.
0 to 18 years is a child. From 18 years, boys, 1 to 4 girls. Guys have it more because, they have it with aunties and that. How she came back to the house, that the children, then I think the son was like the brother and all that. And, she said she was shocked, but she really saw. When the girl now turned back and the house girl, and like that, it was a very bad. The other two had gone to school. She had a little baby. The girl locked the gate. On a normal day, you cannot see somebody trying to spoil your children and you will mad with it. This one, they will kill me today. She left the child outside and ran away. That one need to caution our children. A lot of things leads to it. Some of them are not very expert of it. I'll give you my point.
Apart from parental negligence,
That's, like I said, any point I'm giving is in and out of and a parent. That one is not negligence. Is the father of the child. So intentions. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's say there are other things that can. When it comes to children, I don't want to talk about dressing because a child on Pampers. What has the child done?
nothing.
Nothing. Because a child that is on Pampers, is it the Pampers that offended, or is it the Pampers that seduced the man?
You can't really say.
Do you understand? They took clothes of children that were raped. And basically why I say it's exclusive and sometimes it's innate. But a child, like a child wearing a bomb shot, and for me, child of
Dressing a child modestly may not really be from
the mature on time.
They could be 5 years, but all is accumulation of fatness. And you see, then a woman will come and wear the blue. There's a story they told us that age limits for them in their eye looks so attractive. You try to dress the child in a way that you will not cause problem for someone else or expose someone who is just trying to manage himself. So people are having this emotional problem, or personally, anything they see moves them. And exposed as they are growing, some are at the age of 12 years. Apart from my mother and my sister that she spoke to me and tell me things I need to do, my sister told me how to talk. Could be almost the age of my father. And actually, if I was not very mature, and somebody will see the child and start to approach the child, and looking at the child looks so sexy to his eye, but doesn't look sexy to you as a mother. So you just need to dress the child. Venture in the section, and we'll be right in a moment. Thank you very much. You're welcome back to the discussion that we're having on a point. What do you think some signs you could look out for in children? are you supposed to check every child around you and be a care and not victim of this sexual abuse? What are the signs?
This child abuse is always from the people, like a stranger. It's like co-neighbors, people into a mood of like trying to stay on his or her own, fear and fright. Like if they tell the child, your mommy will kill you. If you tell your mommy this, your mommy will say you are spoiled.
Time is not even with the person, even you. As a mother, when she
might be thinking, is it possible that my mommy has noticed? If you look at her anyhow, she'll be like, she'll be agitated. Their academics. Like it affects them, the way they think. Like a little child is really overcautious of herself. So that it's a bad thing that they are doing. Even being free with the father, the child will be their self. So we parents will have to really look closer. Mommy, do you know this is what happened? And I just said, you know, or if they have the eyes kind of thing to you and say, don't tell, please tell. You scream or shout, you run, then you understand. Right. So we should try and educate that this happens, and it has happened to me. Maybe I should just. They know that I think it's right to even talk. You know, from 2 years the child will not understand the things that they're supposed to do, where people are not supposed to touch. Is as good as raping the child, because the woman will take it personal. You'll be asking, this uncle is my husband. Then tomorrow when the uncle comes and say, you know, you're my wife. Her word is, you know, is from club. They used to enter dance. It's the room of the children at a certain age. Just that you tell them to respect. You just educate them on that. Okay. It will help us.
They find it very difficult to tell the adults around them that you feel they could have told these children that could make them
kill you.
Okay.
Or if you tell your mommy, I will kill you. Or your mommy will hate you. If your mommy you did this and she will hate you. Someone in the house. When the child wants to talk, the person will just be behind them. A lot of fearful things that will make them not to. That's why your mother will hate me. You now remember the kind of love that your parents love you. You say, I won't. So that if it's like maybe it happens from fondling and all that, or trying to kiss you, one day somebody is raped and the person dies, and stories start coming out. It started 100
of what they tell, and not convince the child that as I lick your blood, if you dare speak out, you would kept it a secret because it's a covenant, and which was a way they think. That is why our parents need to help out. I was small. I'm trying to share a life story. I was small. I was around 7 years. So I should come. I was afraid. When I got to his place, he said, hey, he's having catarrh. Me going. So I went to buy the drugs. I've never got patent owner. I want to buy. It was the one alone. So as I was coming, my mind was shaking. I was just shaking because I was already feeling that something wrong want to happen to me. God may have it. My elder sister, the person reported, calling, Amara, where are you? Where are you? So with me. So I'm going, but I couldn't stop myself from going. So she would tell my mother would beat me. Hey, why did I even go? I was thinking, where did you go to? Tell me the truth. The way they were asking me, I started with, you know how my father got convinced that nothing happened to me, to calm down. He took me away from the house. Took me to this, I will give you this, but just tell me the truth, so that if there's anything that has happened, if there was anything that happened to me, I would have opened up to him.
Yes.
That is that, hey, they will beat me. I have taken the wrong thing to her or him at the end of the day by the parents. We always make the child to keep quiet and in a way that when there's something like that happens to them, they'll be able to in the section. Thank you very much. Wow, you're welcome back. I hope you're enjoying every section. I hope you're learning a lot that will help you help your children find around your surrounding. Okay, now we're going to be talking about how to help to curb it, even if for what I want to ask you, what do you think could be tomorrow, their future, even to the old effect here?
Like, let me use a life example. I have a story of a lady that was raped at a very tender age. Okay. So growing up, in fact, I think she experienced rape like twice. Oh. Personally, she didn't want to have anything to do with any man again, but to go into one. But that marriage was hell. Wow. Because to have children, that's just it. There's no. She realized that, you know, when a child is being raped, enjoy the part of it. All she wanted was, I'm a married woman, and it affected me, angry. But to tell this man that this was possible, it was someone that registered me, if it was possible, maybe, now the man go hear him. I will get married, but whatever benefit of marriage, I'm not interested. When it comes to guys, some of them will just turn to say, because they had it with me, what happens, among siblings.
Yes.
Like, so for example, maybe there's a story I heard that sometimes if the parents are traveling, like for 1 day or 2 days, they bring the uncle into the house, took the little girl inside, tried to bring out his organs.
Oh, yes.
This is my eye, this is my breast, this is my that. He's not talking. At least 2 years, should know this is it, that is that. Then asking her private part by herself, so that she knows that place is a very vital place. It's not where then the men will now be as in they will turn to rapists. It's possible it's like a seed sown into someone. So a male or maybe an auntie in the house. So when you put that kind of and prayers, the person will just the person will just be raping and be going. You don't even know what you're doing.
Yes.
You just find that anytime they leave a little child around you, before you know it has happened, then you ask on how we can help. There's a saying in my place that
proceed to their marriage.
Yes.
And sometimes some of them who feel so isolated, feel very, very inferior. And some other people are in them that even at a tender age, after watching, experiment it by teaching, abusing another child around them. Which
is not everything on social media you watch.
Oh.
There's one that I think any of them was up to 13 years.
That's serious.
They watching this, or let us be watching and be doing what they are doing, or something like a threesome, like one girl sleeping with 2 men. The other one was looking at the camera. The guy was practically smiling, like they were doing what they were doing. They didn't know what they were doing, and only God knows how the video and business thing is even bringing a lot of problems. You might, like you said, walk up to a woman like me and say, madam, sorry, I don't know. But I'm looking at the child. Please leave my child for me. So sometimes people even notice through these things. The uncle trying to, and they're trying to tell their mother that this is what uncle is doing. Maybe it's like a brother in the church.
Yeah.
The mother will say, "What are you saying? This spirit-filled uncle that is speaking in tongues."
They don't believe their children.
Somebody told me I'm taking the girl in a lesson because the girl is from the village. You didn't know how she now looks for a lesson teacher. Bash from morning till night. This one, rather than doing anything, if there is mashed potato with eggs and all that, when she asks, the girl will say, auntie. She didn't know that this guy, they will fry the potato and the egg and got pregnant.
Oh my God.
Like, while the little girl was dressed, she was just wearing a short skirt, very small girl. So, that was what the woman told me. So, I beg that, let them hear something, already has it in his mind. Even if let the child wear jalabi and come. She was saying, what is happening? Is it my husband?
No.
Is it my sin? The prayer the woman used to pray, she would say, let me just go and sleep. This guy has one salvation king. Questions upon questions upon questions. At the end of the day, was this guy what about somebody being born again?
Oh,
when you say go to church, you say trust anybody. The thing is very bad that nobody is to be trusted. Though. Nobody is to be trusted.
I think I buy this idea from you. We shouldn't trust every husband and leave their daughters to their step. This woman didn't know this brother is having an issue already. And they could not open up to anyone. So whenever they find themselves isolated, they keep anybody around them. So we have to be very, very careful. They brought this person to teach the child to help the education, and now she has landed into
it can happen. In the worst case, a baby brother or something, they want to practice it, and
the level and the danger of this child sexual abuse. You don't even know who to trust anymore. Even what do we do? What can we? What could be your suggestion? Child sexual abuse.
Thank you. Like I said, there's this child. He's everybody's child.
Okay.
The child didn't notice. This one goes out to men that just want to come and say what they don't know.
Yes, it's very
But something that are very good at knowing. Those days, some mothers will just see somebody and say, they have critical eyes. They look and say, no, there's something wrong here. And not doing well to the mother, but the main thing is affecting the way the child is going on. Put your eye, you say, is it your child? The child is experiencing to other children, affecting the society at large. Listen, observe. Be sure that find out what your child has gone to be. You're a fighter, you're a lion. You don't want to listen to people. They will say, it's a little child can, like when I was saying that the little child was saying, child tells you strange things. Listen, observe. Whenever Uncle A or fellow Uncle B and the child say, no, mommy, I don't want to. Or when this uncle that is a favorite uncle comes in, other children jump on him. You need to watch. Go and greet uncle now. I'm shy of this uncle, this, that.
Okay. Yes, it's their children. They should also learn what they need to teach the boys the moral.
Yes.
Tell them what they're supposed to do and what they're not supposed to do. You've heard us. I hope you've enjoyed this section. I hope you have a lot you've gotten the knowledge you can impact to others that can help. Same station. You can watch us on the handle being watched. Thank you for staying with us. Thank you for enjoying this section. Thank you.
By 2050, the emerging challenges that beset our world. Life is now a survival of the fittest. Garos Ayuba comes from her chances for a bright future are slim.
Just differences. Don't want to do what people are doing. Then if I go to this mechanic work, is so many girls are engaged in such, making their hairs for themselves.
I feel mechanic work, but in my own case, because I asked them to do the work.
Initially, it's JS1. So when I told my mother I should decide another one, and I said, okay, what about mechanics? She now said,
It is very rare to find this path. Garos has damned all consequences.
me. So when laughing at me, I used to be ashamed of myself. This dirty work to be doing. I want to say that there is one of my mad people's work that will be working on the street like mad woman. Discouragement, because definitely I'll face such challenge. Insult me are those that don't know what they are doing. But
she's not even the second, she's the third here. So we are being and she's trying her best, despite the challenges. Because she's a woman, but still, we still have to.
But because it's time now to learn how to be a mechanic, I think she'll give me the best, but as a source of encouragement, I will.
In some areas. So as she choose to be a mechanic, about going to one beer parlor to the other, and
female also a human being. All of so very thank God for they see that
it's no work, but I'm sewing. So it's not just going to school that I will come home and be bored. I'd have enrolled and started doing.
Fame and prestige are trending. The dream of an average a need.
Okay, country person, your boy don't cut with my people for street. Make we know how they feel and possible continue life again. They release the lockdown. Put body join for street. Make we they go church, go like relate with street people. Make I know how they feel. And today we go also ask one the key pass. Hey, now my name be MC Fresh and this naked for Benue State, Makodi, Benue State. Now. Okay, I want to try as much as possible make I know two things. They say they don't raise the lockdown small.
Don't suffer. So this time we government open like this.
COVID-19 and coronavirus. Who matter be that now? COVID-19 day and coronavirus day. So which? Because that's the same thing they talk about. COVID-19 and Ebola mano day again. So that's the two things that they... Now if you go church, now if you enter market, now if you even...
We thank God because you know
that what you do, it be like say the matter strong. Where?
you know say we dey say for other countries, you know give us anything, same old day house.
At least before a particular time when they go say curfew don't start.
As if that lockdown, na do work for some time. I say, ma thank the government small.
Yeah. Now the same thing they be.
So you there aware of
they keep people pass the coronavirus, the hungry virus.
He pass.
COVID-19 and coronavirus. So that coronavirus,
COVID, you feel still shake COVID.
No, you feel pass small.
Oh my God, OG. Hey, Fabric, make I go rest.
So welcome to today's interesting episode of Woman Today, Okafo. This program is a very explore womanhood to tell us a woman on her responsibility towards the family and how to help this woman to be the better person. Wonderful topic that will excite you and your family. You have a lot. Beautiful. She's so adorable. We are for the CEO, Mirrors and Wigs. You're welcome.
Same here. Thank you.
All right. Today we're going to be dealing with our family, with everyone. And this topic is on the rage that everyone hears. And we've come to know everyone has been a victim, both the men, the wisely 2020. I read in it out to go and get something from the street while the mother was in the car. Yes, nobody's child will be a victim after listening to this program. He realized that the child he left has been raped by sexual abuse is all over the place. They're talking about inside the church and now she's late. So everyone has to be locked down. You are in your room, you cannot go out. But women, because we discovered that the woman of 70 years, you could see that even a little. But today we'll be concentrating on the children. So is because when they talk about sexual abuse, there is this to know whether it's correct. Please, can you throw more light on that?
Thank you. Very forceful sexual activity between a child and a parent. So when you hear about child sexual, so that is basically what child sexual abuse means. It's not all about rape.
It's actually the mindset.
Yes, that's the mind. We have the physical contact. Okay. We have the, fondling means trying to touch, all that.
All right.
Then we have the kissing, forceful kissing, unacceptable. Like an uncle, deeply, it's crazy. How can you just drag in the lower lip? Wow. Times there's this, an uncle, man and child sexual abuse and all that.
Okay, it means that a boy can be abused,
a girl can be abused. Yes, right. So like Karen, I tell my daughter recently on the uncle's lap, in quotes. Yes, every erection. Why is it like that? Anything that has to do with the body. Whenever you're someone sensitive areas, basically. In the world we are right now, I think that is the watching of pornography. Those days it wasn't even on phones. I really want to talk to mothers. An innocent uncle, in quotes, these days they can check through a lot of things. Before today they're looking at cartoon. Something like picture. When this child is looking at, the child is watching and watching and watching. Maybe one day the child might just come up and say, maybe by then, Mr. Dev, this is that. That is where practical comes.
She has no one.
Look at this. This is what this does. He's not actually touching the child at that time. And if the child is seeing this thing, along the line, the child will want to go deep like that. So, when it comes to child, educate our children. If you check in the stat at the age, when you say child, the child is someone from the age of 0 to 18 years. Yes. From 0 to 18 years, you are a child. So when you check its age of 0 to 18 years.
Wow.
I was even surprised and all that, trying to try it, maybe a house up that is in the house that you're trying to kill or teach one or two things and all that. There was one experience, somebody told me, something she forgot in the house. Oh, yeah. The house help was inside, 6 years old. The daughter was touching she wanted to watch it happen, but she wanted to know where it will land so that starts whatever the house girl was doing with her day. Maybe because the way she handled it. Now, when the woman left the house, she said, buy this gate and ran away. You're supposed to handle it with, but as a mother, you want to go gaga. Comes to this sexual abuse for children. We really need to caution our children. A lot of things leads to it. Some of them are not very exclusive. Like you say, negligence by parents. It's careless and all that. They don't put their eyes to their children, especially when the home is educate the child on what to do. Okay. But when house, you have a baby, you don't have a help, you need to go out.
Wow. Okay, let me cut it from you from here. I think it's about the parental negligence towards their children. Yes. Posed to this kind of problem, what do you think could be one of the causes of child?
Because every point has its own story.
Oh, yes.
Like I give an example, can leave her child and go out to the father, not knowing the man has his own devilish. Okay. Now they can normally you can say maybe the way the child dressed. Nothing because a child that is on Pampers, is it the Pampers that offended? Story I read one time is like a research that they did somewhere dressed in decent clothes. Wow. The way they dress. Sometimes people dress to attract. That is when seriously.
All right. I could say
yes.
When a child starts to grow from some children they have chubby bodies. Yeah. They could be fat and they look as if there's breasts, shorts. Bombshell, thinking she's the baby. The smoothness, the palatability of the laps. I think by helping a child who cause problem for someone else or expose someone who is just struggling with it, some of them watch these porns. And when parents, I think, trying to dress our children modestly. Do you understand? Child of 11 years or 12 years, somebody came and toasted me. Actually, I believe you are still a child. You need to grow before they talk to you. But Daddy, I don't talk to you. And the first person that ever approached me was somebody very, very... I may not really know what to do. Sometimes a child may be very... Looking at the child looks so sexy to his eye, but the child. Okay, we'll be going on a very short... child sexual abuse. All right, we're going to continue with it to see in a child. That's again, whether is it only your child you should look after as a father, as an uncle, to be able to make sure. All right.
Before I get to the sign, I forgot to tell you that 95% of is like 25% or like 10 of. Back to your question, like the signs, it's maybe when your child starts, being always moody, or maybe when your child sees a particular why you have to really, they find it even difficult to say it, so they die with everything about the child. Yes, everything about the child. Sometimes some children are the person will go and do something else. The father will come and just say, my baby, hug and all that, but the child with the father, with the brothers and all that, so they are different. Tells them, you don't do this, you don't do that. It just makes them not talk to our children, because when you talk to your children, when you come and they can tell you that this is what happened today, that means you have started. You can scream, you can run, you don't even have the opportunity to do any of them. It depends on the situation or the condition. That signs, they won't take it like it's something bad, mommy. But when you are harsh about it, like you talk to, you don't once in a while tell your children about. From 2 years, knowledge of sex education should start from a very tender age. If you say, of my child, you're my husband, so I'm my wife. Do you understand?
Yes.
She doesn't. I would say she's a wife. Your mommy. Those kind of things.
Yes,
Maybe someone living in one room, you will not go and keep your child in your neighbor's house. Your brother is dressing up, you give way. When your sister is dropping.
Users, tell those children that makes them most time very harsh. Does it really mean that people around them are very harsh?
Yes.
What is dying in silence?
Like I said, they can use likes giving them or buying for them. Say, if you tell your mommy, I will not, she will disown you. A lot of things. They tell them a lot of things. They even then. What's that? No, nothing. The baby is living permanently. Not as if this child does not want to speak out. But when the child remembers that is not the best. The best thing is, if it happens, that damage can be controlled. But when it happens, very pathetic.
Okay. All right. And the issue, someone cuts the child's hand, and this child wants to speak out, remembering that she would to make, and sometimes they don't tell them anything. But inside them, any sign, I think it's good we start with a quiet way. And one uncle in one building now signaled me and said I should come, that something wrong wants to happen to you. But I was afraid. God helping me. Somebody saw it in my house. But that day, I don't even know the name, and he gave me the drugs. So as I was coming back, nobody was sitting in the parlor. I gave him the drugs and he grabbed. My name is Amarachi. What is your father's name? My father's name. I was just talking. Your sister going to this compound, and he entered these people's house. And I told him, my sister is calling me. My sister is calling me. So he now, my going to this place is not correct. And they will beat me. I didn't see her again. And I ran to the backyard and went and sat down. I was thinking, where were you? I said, no, I've been here. I don't buy drugs. What did he do to you? I said, not suspect any sign as a parent. Don't rush the child. Everybody was in fear that something must have happened to me. And that sat me down and told me, if you tell me the truth, I will buy this for you. I will give these issues.
Yes.
When you see this sign and rush the child, she or he has taken a wrong step. And keep it sealed. So we should help our children to be able to going on a very short break. I will be writing them up.